Hey everyone, I'm the Tom, welcome to my gaming channel. Today I'm playing another episode of Grid Autosport and we're gonna start a new season today. Are we gonna go for more tuner? Fuck it, let's get to the max level in tuner.
Let's see if you can get to master even more disciplines.
Yeah, 8 events, 3 events, 2 offers, 3 offers. Oh, I already finished that. Super modified World Masters. 10 events. Let's see what kind of cars we get here. Team target. View contract details.
Check out their offer.
A 370Z for drifting. Then for time events we get a WRX. And some more drifting. Then NSXR. Yeah, so those 3 cars are a 370Z, a WRX, and then NSXR. And here you get an Evo 10 for drifting, an RX7 for timed laps, and oh, it's an NSXR Cup apparently. What would I rather have? I think I'm gonna go with this one, Forge Motorsport. Well, okay. Let's go for it. It's gonna be 10 events in this season. First one is gonna be drifting. I like that. Starts well, hopefully. So this is gonna be the Autosport race, right? I know this track a little bit. Let's try and see what this Evo does though. Like, maybe I want to change something about the setup.
You picked up the outside marker bonus.
Shouldn't have downshifted there. That counted as a spin even though I did not spin, actually. Sure, I had to cancel the drift, but it was not a spin, technically. Oh, yeah, okay. I remember this corner now. It's way tighter than you think at first. So let's go ahead and change something about the setup, because inevitably we want to lock the differential as much as possible. So that's one thing we guaranteed want. I'm gonna go for 100% front bias on the brakes and make the front suspension a little bit softer actually, and I can play around with this a little bit because maybe I want the front suspension to be less soft. Maybe I want it to be softer. Let's see how this affects things actually.
That's the inside marker bonus.
Oh, I like the setup. Thank you. Oh, bummer. My fault. Oh, I'm gonna hit. Yeah, once I'm out of my rhythm, it's pretty hard to get back in it. So keep that in mind. Like when you're trying to get a decent flow. Not just a flow percentage score on the top right, which tells you basically how fluently you're doing the circuit, but your personal rhythm with the car and with the track. If you keep that up, it's oftentimes better to keep it a little bit. Excuse me, keep it a little bit slower and but do it safely than to actually try and rush it, if you know what mistake right there, I almost lost it. But it still went fine in the end. I like the setup, so let's go to the paddock area and start the knockout stages. Or actually the qualification first, I'm sorry. Shouldn't be a big problem, unless the competition has seriously picked up pace from the last couple of seasons. No offense, but... Oh, for once I actually make that. This is looking very good. Oh, downshifted a little bit too soon, now I lost a little bit of speed. A little bit more than I would have liked, that is. Almost 1.5 million score on this very short circuit, like... Okay, I'm feeling confident now. Only thing, and I say this in every single drift event, only thing that I am really afraid of is getting overtaken. But other than that, I don't think... Or spinning. You spin my evil right round, right round. Oh man. I didn't just say that, only that I probably did and you guys could hear it, so... That was actually really good for that. Balanced the throttle nicely and the same goes for this corner and almost 1.3 million again, even though I had that mistake in there. And I'm first, but by how much? Oh. Okay. I scored pretty much twice as much as the second best one. So yeah, I'm not truly afraid.
You're in the lead position. Make good use of the head start.
So maybe try and do it a little bit faster with a little bit less drifting. Just so I don't get caught. Late braking on my part. A half decent score for me personally. It's about as much as second place of the qualification had in 2 runs.
This time you're chasing.
Okay, now I can drift to my own personal likings here, because I'm not even in the slightest concerned about overtaking the guy in front of me. And that was a very bad section on my part. That was better though. I just love this track. Okay, that was bad. But it's fine. I'm not gonna lose because of that. Or am I? No.
You made it through.
Alright, it wasn't even close. I kind of expected those guys to do a little bit better in the actual events than in the qualification rounds. Because that's how it usually works, but...
You're starting this in the lead position.
They were nowhere near me in the score, so it's a good finish. $224,000 compared to last time's 311,000 in that same sector is quite a big difference. Anyway, I got 5 stars for it, both times obviously. Oh my god. Do I have to overtake him now in order to win this? I'm not sure. Not gonna catch him, so much is for sure. But will I lose because of that? No, I didn't lose.
Nice, you're in the final.
Okay, so it doesn't truly matter that much, apparently. Probably only if it's close in score, then if you get overtaken then you lose, because the enemy is close in score but was actually faster. I don't know what close means though, like where the borders are. Again, that guy's actually catching up to me, and I don't want to get overtaken yet again. And I won't. It was close, but I did not get overtaken this time. Is that the final already? Or is that the semi-final? $293,000 is good for that section, and this was not fantastic, but it did not count as a spin. And this wasn't the perfect entry, of course, but it doesn't really matter, all things considered. Because we won by about how much? 1.3 million score. Okay, so that was the finals. Nice. And that means Oakley Motorsport is in the lead. Because while I did win, my teammate was kinda bad, and therefore he did not score well enough for us to take the lead position in the team championship. So we're gonna have a time attack race on a short version of the, what is it called? Circuit Mont Tremblant. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but oh, I recall this now. I'm gonna go ahead and practice first. Holy cow, just look at that thing. That is what, an RX-7? Okay. Okay, they accelerated me for too long, or I should have braked immediately. And I do not recall this track. I lied. Thought it was a different one. Oh! You know what it is? It's the reverse version of a track that I know a little bit about. Man, this thing goes. But is it faster than the WRX
Great lap time, competitive.
that we drove last season? Good question. I don't necessarily know the answer to that question, but I guess we'll have to find out later. Oh, okay. I thought this was gonna go way uglier than it actually did. And I'm not very good in this car, as you can see by the fact that on the minimap that guy behind me is actually catching up all the time. Does that have something to do with my quite badly damaged steering rack? So one thing's for sure, I'm not pulling away from whoever that guy behind me was. That's a little bit frightening. So we want the differential to be a little bit more on the locked side, not 100% though. We want higher downforce because this is not a super fast circuit. We want a little bit softer front suspension. Let's try again. So as soon as we cross the line, brake. So let us see how much of a difference. Oh yeah. That is me overestimating the car's capabilities now that we've tuned it, because it's still the same car, just with a slightly different setup. Oh, it likes to slide apparently. You can feel it. But what I was about to say is, I'm curious to know how much that downforce does for us actually. I was late on the brakes. Too late. I'd like to have a little bit more grip, but then again, for the grip I should have gone for the WRX from the the other team that I was given an offer from, because the WRX, I think even in this race series, is all-wheel drive, and there we go. This RX-7 is only rear-wheel drive. Let's go change something else. I think I want this thing to make actually full downforce here, because there isn't really a super long straight, but there are a couple of corners. I do not want to change the brake bias. No, I don't wanna. Okay, let us actually go. I'm scared of this race because I don't think I'm gonna actually win this. I don't think I'm gonna set the fastest lap time unless I'm super overestimating the opponents here. This car needs a little bit more grip, which hopefully the added downforce might provide. Still don't be too aggressive on the throttle. Please tell me this is the fastest lap right away. Second place. I'm only in 4th place. I'm in 7th place.
You're 1.5 seconds slower than the lap leader.
Yeah, this is what I'm afraid of. Please actually let me figure out a way to do this faster.
If you could make up a second this lap, you could gain a good few places.
I'm 14th? And the occasional frame drops don't really help me out that much either.
Slower than the lap leader.
That doesn't help either. Like the oversteer on the corner exit is nasty.
If you could make up a second this lap,
then
you could
again,
gain a good few places.
For that matter, I should have gone for the WRX. Please stop pushing me around. You're getting annoying. Either you overtake or you will. Just let me drive.
You're 1.5 seconds slower than the lap leader.
Oh man, those frame drops, they're ruining my life. Let's restart. I think I've learned a little bit more about the track. Hopefully frame rate isn't that bad in the middle of the corner, because hopefully you guys could see that, but in the middle of that corner all of a sudden I was like 3 meters more on the left, like right on the outside edge, because of the frame drop. It didn't like the input of my steering input didn't get noticed, and therefore I was just going way off the ideal line. Yeah, so that was very bad. Hopefully that doesn't happen too many more times. This looks like a much faster time. Second place. I can live with that. Oh, didn't brake too much didn't brake enough for that corner.
If you can make up a second this lap, you could gain a place.
Was that actually faster than, you know, going around the corner in a normal fashion? I don't think drifting is faster in that circumstance. Braked a little bit later for this corner than usual. But will it make a difference? No. So far it did not.
If you can make up a second this lap, you could gain a place.
Why am I so much slower in that section than the leader? I don't know.
If you can make up a second this lap, you could gain a
Also,
place.
why am I losing 4/10 of time in the last section, which is basically just flat out, it can't be the downforce, because it has to, well, it has to be the car. Then I should have gone for the WRX from the other sponsor.
You're half a second slower than the lap leader.
If I do this in 4th gear, I'm gonna try that next lap, because this lap I had
If you can make up a
one of
second
my
this lap, you
opponents
could gain a
right
place.
in front of my face. There's the frame rate issues again. Man, I hate that. Ruining my life. Look at that. Can't do shit.
Slower than the lap leader.
My time is gone now. Whether it was better or worse than, well, it's gonna be worse anyway because of the frame rates. I'm 9 seconds behind. Good job, me.
Well done, you beat your event rival.
I beat my event rival? Yeah, but I didn't win.
Making
Well,
good progress towards achieving your team target.
well, hopefully at some point the game will run a little bit more smoothly and I can actually... I'm not fully blaming it on the game or my computer or whatever. I'm also blaming it on myself, because I really had the opportunity in the first lap to actually set the record, but I didn't. So this is gonna be a regular old race. I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this in the center here. I'm gonna go for neutral downforce as well. A little bit longer gearing. Improves body stability. Let's leave it here, and let's go to practice, because I want to set it. Oh, it's the reversed mount panorama. I much prefer this track the other way around. Keep in mind, I do not have that much downforce anymore. That will also mean I have a little bit better top speed. And, you know, just flat out performance. That was pretty much a pretty good time to brake. I'm not gonna say the perfect time. It was a decent time to brake. Decent braking point. here. Me. Almost did it right there. I also very much favor longer gear ratios on this track, because it's a track with a lot of straights, and the less you have to shift, the better off you'll be. Let's brake about here. Which again was a pretty good point of braking, and we got 205.71. Should be good. I don't think there's anything I want to change necessarily. But of course we got that qualifying right ahead of us, and if I do really poorly here and I'm for some reason not happy with the setup anymore, and I can still change it before the race. Oh, 207.56. Good. I just beat that. Oh man. Okay. So this lap's not gonna beat it. This is just you know, I'm gonna say it's the lap in which I'm gonna warm up my tires, if you will. It's not the lap that will actually count. Therefore, I don't give a damn about what kind of time I achieve in this lap, as long as I can actually finish well in the next lap, or the third one for that matter. Oh man, that upshift really unbalanced the car, so I'm not gonna do that next time. Good thing to know. Don't upshift in this car in an uphill corner. Just a little bit too fast for that corner. This time I can find that braking point again. It's a little bit early, but better safe than sorry. That chicane went pretty well, I would say. Braked a little bit too early on the entry, but I think it's gonna be fine either way. And yeah, the time says, yeah, it's gonna be fine probably. Nice. Right on the edge there. but I'm ever so barely ahead anymore. Like, I don't know what happened. Oh, he set a new lap time. He set a new time. That is what happened. Please let me actually finish faster than him.
Last lap,
Thank you.
keep the pace up.
That was bad. I damaged the engine as well. Yeah, and the steering. I can't go in a straight line anymore. My car pulls to the right. Doesn't matter, I set the fastest lap time and I hope nobody's gonna beat it. And I hope the actual race doesn't last longer than, you know, 2 or 3 laps. Because if it's like 5 laps, I might crash again and damage my car. And if that happens, I'm pretty much screwed. Oh yeah. Let's just finish this, shall we? Let's drive slowly but surely towards the finish line. I don't care about... Holy crap, the steering is messed up. It's pulling to the right so strongly, man. Okay, now I've let go of the joystick for just half a second, and I'm almost in the right border. Like that's. Look, I didn't steer through that corner. Oh man, I have to hold left to even go in a straight line. It's really hard to get this thing going around the left corner at this point. But we're almost at the finish line. Just please, God, don't let anybody finish a lap right now and beat me. And the frame issues are back, and just in time after I already crashed. Yeah. Hopefully, my frames will be fine for the race, because if they won't, I'm gonna have a zero. What? Guess what happened? Just before I finished my lap, he actually... Season progress will be saved. So, okay, I'm gonna end this episode right here. Season progress will be saved. That means I'm gonna start from the 2nd position into the race right at the start of the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, click the like button, helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.